What is a force? Well, a force is an interaction, but really, if we want to get down to the technical definition of what a force is, here is the academic response. A force, an influence which may cause acceleration. And make sure if you ever recite that definition, so there we go again, an influence which may cause acceleration. Make sure when you read that, you do it with a snotty accent. An influence which may cause acceleration. It's very vague. Now, the best working definition I've ever seen is, well, it's part of the best is because it's so simple. A force, in essence, it's a push or a pull. It's as simple as that. Now, it doesn't have to be a person pushing or a person being pushed. I can have interaction. Matter of fact, you have forces acting on you from every object. Wherever you're sitting right now, there's a force acting on you. Some of those forces are so incredibly small that we can easily ignore them without losing anything unless you're a theoretical physicist, and that just drives those people crazy. But that's okay because they're a little bit off to begin with. Now, the important things about forces to realize. Number one, important ideas about forces. Force is a vector. Direction matters. Imagine that you're sitting on a block of ice and someone comes along and pushes you to the left or pushes you to the right. What happens to you next depends upon the direction in which the force was applied. So direction matters. How hard they pushed you matters. Therefore, because the size, the force, the size and the direction matter, it's a vector. Now the next one, forces come in pairs. And that is the hardest thing for people to really understand. Actually, the harder part is the fact that the two forces are equal in magnitude. They are the exact same force. So if I come along, you're sitting on the block of ice, I come along and I push on you with 5 newtons of force, you are actually pushing back on me with 5 newtons of force. So the key thing about those pairs, the pair of forces act on different objects. They are acting in different directions, and they act on different objects. The pair of forces, each force in the pair, act on different objects. I've repeated this several times. Let me do it one more time. When I'm dealing with forces, they come in pairs, and each force in that pair act on different objects. It may not make sense yet. You can probably memorize it, but it's an important concept, and it's probably one of the hardest concepts that I've seen with students. And the last one, I mentioned in one of my other videotapes, forces do not play favorites. When two objects are interacting with each other, they're exerting the same magnitude of force on each other. That's the pair I talked about. But it's not going through and saying, oh, that one's a human, that one's a brick, we're going to give more force to one than the other. No, it doesn't work that way. Forces aren't playing favorites between the two objects. If they interact, it's the same force on each one.